Alright, welcome to the Doc Review. It is January 4th, 1964. New Year. Congratulations for this show. And the episode is The Escape. And there's pretty much only one thing I can say for the intro. Exterminate, exterminate, exterminate. I know they don't say that line per se, but extermination is kind of close. You know, it's a pretty good episode, or part, or whatever it is. It's pretty good. I like it. They had a nice cliffhanger, pretty good, pretty interesting cliffhanger. The plot is developing really nicely. The whole scheme of things, I guess. I don't know. The scheme that the Daleks are taking over, are are scheming, or the scheme that they're planning and putting into motion against the Thal people. All I can think of is Thalmor, but the Thal, and you meet the Thal. I'm quite sure it's in this episode, this part. My mind is a little tired, but the Thal people, pretty interesting. Of course, humanoid, and of course they speak English. Source is kind of obvious, though, that good people, humanoid, and speak English. Well, everyone speaks English, so that's kind of a given. But uh, uh, Susan's gotten pretty good at uh, evolve. Her character's being good at evolving into a sort of more brave and grown-up person, and the Doctor is seems to be helpful a bit. Seems to starting to be helpful in things, and Ian is becoming still being a bit strong, being sort of a teacher, I guess, now, and using his science expertise apparently, and his doctor. I don't know how he was a doctor. Apparently, he was a doctor. Um, and Barbara is sort of using her knowledge, and they're sort of solving problems with their own sort of expertise and their wit, I guess, and coming up with like the mud to sort of cover the Daleks' eyepiece. It was pretty interesting, pretty smart move, and all we know about the Daleks, but what they actually look like, is the claw coming out, the sort of reptilian claws coming out, which is quite interesting. Uh, One interesting point, speaking of the Daleks, one of the interesting points that I don't get is how the Dalek, the machine, was built for the Daleks. The Daleks can fit inside the cloak. I'm guessing they're about this big. They're about no longer than about a foot, or taller, or whatever, than about a foot. What I want to know is how Ian, being about 5 feet, at least 5'2", at least 5 feet tall, which is about 5 times taller than a Dalek, could fit into the machine that was built for them without any trouble. A little bit cramped in the legs, but other than that, he can work it. He can not work it, but he can fit inside. I don't know how. I guess the wandering cave, sort of went into the Dalek machine. But oh well. Uh, It's kind of strange. It's a very interesting show, very good for 60s sci-fi television. For pretty much any, well, the sort of budget, I don't know how big or small of a budget is, but I mean, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good show. And I'm pretty much hooked on it. I am hooked on it. But uh, it's a really good show. It's for the time at that time, it was really well done. And as it goes along, it gets better quality, blah, blah, better budget, hopefully. Well, of course, I mean, with money and salaries and inflation, it's gonna get relatively better. But I mean, with more popularity, it must have gotten a lot larger salary and budget, a lot larger budget, and especially the new series has got to have a huge budget. But hopefully, well, I'm hoping, and I'm saying I'm hoping it because I haven't seen past, I think, halfway through the ambush, which is the next episode. I'm hoping that they kept their integrity and their sort of the spirit budget of the small budget sci-fi with ideas. Sorry, if that's too loud, but with ideas and concepts and just keeping all that creativity going and not just relaxing because they have a bigger budget. And they can I'm not saying that I want the creators to constantly be crazed, but I want them to keep the sort of drive to be original. I don't know how original this is in context of 60s TV shows, but I just want them to keep the heart of the show. I'm hoping that they kept it, and I'm hoping they continue to keep the heart of the show because 7 episodes in, they've developed things. They've developed the sort of scheme, I guess, the whole grand idea of the show, and what it's supposed to be like, and how it's supposed to be, and it just seems great. And I just hope they have kept it, and will keep it like that. Uh, Next episode is Ambush, and I think I've only seen about half of that episode, so part episode, and it's gonna be interesting. So, till next time.